The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have a new episode of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina for you. Now, before we get into this, you might notice that we might speed up. We might speed run this. We might start to glisten and sweat. And that is because our air conditioner fucking broke like a month ago. And
Still
it
broken.
has taken them this long to figure it out, allegedly. And I'm still not certain if they have. I don't want to put that in the universe, but that's just where we are in life. And so we are in a little bit of a heat wave, which is normally fine. Like if this had broken like a month or two ago, it would have been fine. We live in a fairly moderate climate. Unfortunately, thanks to climate change and just weather patterns, it's fucking hot. We have no AC. And because of that, normally we would just get up early in the morning, do this, start our day. We had to drive our dog halfway to my parents' house to safe exchange him with my parents so that they can watch him for the week because it's going to be too hot for our dog here and we can't take him to like the library or anywhere to cool him down because he's not a service animal, and nor would we ever pretend he was because he can serve nothing but cute.
Boy, is he serving.
He's serving cute. So he is visiting grandma and grandpa for the next couple of days, and we are gonna sweat. We're gonna sweat it out. And so to record this podcast, we have to close the windows and put on lights and, you know, at least give you some semblance of quality. And because we do that, it gets hot. So if at any point I start to look like I'm going to pass out, it's okay.
If the band starts playing, so we speed up, you know why.
You know why. So if anything seems a little abrupt or rushed, it's because we're running out of cold air.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to go stand in front of a fan for a few minutes.
Yes.
So fingers crossed, all will go well. It's not too hot in here right now. We're totally fine. We're chilling. But just a warning, just a heads up, because I don't want you to feel like we don't love you. Not about you. It's us. It's always us.
Unfortunately.
And boy, is it always us. And it's always Sabrina.
It is. All right. I just cut out multiple minutes of me trying to figure out the headphone offset. Still not working. Anyways. No more headphones on my head, and now we are moving into the cast this week. In order to speed things along, I did not do the slides last night and didn't plan ahead for today. So we won't have slides for the two members of our cast that we're going to be talking about, and I apologize, but that will resume in the future. So first, Brom Taylor, who I'm assuming how you pronounce his name, is the Uninvited. Both of these actors, kind of smaller CV, but pulling in a few things. Episode of Wild Cards, you know, our favorite. He was the No-Eye Man in 2 episodes of Yellow Jackets. And in an upcoming episode of Riverdale as Earl.
Earl.
His name is Earl.
Earl had to die.
2 different jokes about Earl.
I love Goodbye Earl. It's a great song. I think all country music should be about women killing men.
It's fair enough. You know, we have to revoke it.
Yeah.
And then you might have noticed that Gryla was recast. I don't know the specifics from the original actor. Maybe she just couldn't make it work for this last part. Anyway, Samantha Coughlin playing Gryla in this episode for your parents. 1 episode of Resident Alien.
Oh, they love that show.
Yeah, we were having a conversation earlier about how the older like cable channels still have
television.
Yes, like the long 22. Yeah.
They put TV on the TV.
But they're still doing like the
sounded bewildered.
What? But like they're still doing the classic network TV shows. So
I just feel like it's not as big as it used to be.
No, people aren't really. It's not
the youths aren't watching it.
Yeah, the youths aren't watching like CBS or NBC in the same way. But
there's going to be someone who's going to comment and be like, I watch this every week. And we'll be like, you're correct. We don't know. We don't know anything.
They could be, you know?
We're kind of old now.
We are kind of old.
We're like not old, but we're not young anymore.
That's right.
We're just kind of...
We're still in the marketable age according to capitalism, I believe.
Well, you're...
18 to 45 or whatever.
When you're a man, so you're still tolerable. And you'll actually get better over time. Unfortunately, my shelf life, TikTok.
That is not true.
I'm just saying in terms of marketability.
Well, I mean, we don't listen to the markets anyway.
No, we don't.
But speaking of that long-winded way of getting about to, she was on one episode of a TV show called Tracker, which is on CBS. There's been 3 seasons of this show so far, and is about Coulter Shaw, who travels the country in his old school RV, helping police and private citizens solve crimes and locate missing persons until his latest case changes everything.
Ooh.
Tracker on CBS.
I wonder what that means, though. I need more to be interested at this point in my life. Is that bad? I've been burned by so many shows that I'm like, what is the thing that changes his life?
Exactly. What is this? Excuse me. And then a small role in Terminator Dark Fate, and multiple voices in the video game Mass Effect Andromeda.
Lovely.
That is our cast this week. So we should move into our episode, Chapter 30, The Uninvited. All right. So a person's name that we didn't mention last time said, hey, it's the Eldritch Terrors. I wonder if we're playing with Lovecraft. For just setting that context, we don't have any
Lovecraft experience.
Exactly. So we can't really speak to the deep things, but I feel like we both at least kind of know at a high level about like Lovecraft, that he wrote horror stories about like entities that were much more cosmic. So, you know, much more what am I trying to say? Like psychological, I guess, in that sense, but like beings that were so massive and powerful that they drove people mad just being able to even conceive them. So that's where these Eldritch Terrors are coming in. And also I know that he was fairly racist. So, but
good to know.
The Uninvited, looking around, it seems like people think it was inspired by a short story called The Outsider. I will spoil it from the synopsis that I looked up, where it's a man is by himself in a crumbling castle, and wants to go see if there's other things out there outside of this like place that he's in. And then he climbs up the castle, and then when he comes out, you kind of realize that he was underground, and that he's kind of like this hideous, deformed monster. So when he goes to the castle, he's rejected and turned away. So he goes back to live and is like rejected and away from society. That's like the twist, is that he's, at least as far as the synopsis and things that I read,
he's like not attractive.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
and that his world is beneath ours. All right. So someone pushing a shopping cart enters the Greendale city limits as ominous music plays.
How did he get there?
How does anybody arrive at Greendale, you know?
Bus?
Yeah, interstellar bus. Cosmic bus. And the girl was kidnapped before, Lucy, right? We both agree that it was her, right? Yeah. Has dinner with her mom when she's like, it smells like trash. There's a knock at the door, and her mom opens the door to a houseless man holding a sign asking if they could come inside as they're cold and hungry. Her mom is obviously freaked out and tells him no, and he needs to move on. And it's like, please, I have a child. He leaves and she shuts the door, but turns around and finds him inside, and he takes out her heart like he's in the second Indiana Jones. And Lucy asks what he did to her mom, and then he like stalks toward her.
It is scary.
Yeah. It insinuates, I assume, that she dies.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't turn him away, though. Anyway.
He took out her heart.
No, but I meant Lucy.
Oh, it insinuates that Lucy dies. Yeah, they say 5 bodies, right?
I think so.
And when we see like the 3 men.
Will every episode have Ambrose having to do an autopsy on 3 men? I guess we'll find out.
There's something about that, like
not that I know of.
I like that we always get the Salem scene then too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get that cat some work. Sabrina has dinner with Carl after seeing Alien, and he says he didn't really enjoy the movie. But then at the end of the day, he's like, what a great movie, and drops her off at home and tries to kiss her, but she turns her head.
What a great date.
Yeah, he's like, I had a great time. And then she's like, see you at school. We then see her date with Melvin at Dorian's. Oh, sorry. And then also when she's at dinner, she sees Roz and Harvey kissing. And then she goes on her date with Melvin to Dorian's, where she sees Nick and Prudence being all not kissing, but all over each other.
I don't know if we ever see them kiss.
I don't think so.
I think they're playing, like, I think it's fun that it never shows them doing anything but like being near each other.
Uh-huh. And then Melvin asked to escort Sabrina to Hilda's wedding, and at the end of the date, Sabrina also avoids Melvin's kiss. Harvey and Roz are making out on his garage couch when there's a banging on the door. Harvey opens to the same houseless man. Roz jumps up and tells him to come inside and take a seat. And she's like, I just got a weird vibe from the cunning that if we turned her away, something bad would happen. The man scarfs down food, and Roz goes to touch him to use her cunning when he grabs her wrist first, and she gets a bad psychedelic vision, which satisfies the man, supposedly, and he wanders off. Later, they're in bed together, and Roz is super elliptical about what she saw. She's like, I got these pictures in my head. So we know that she's one of those people that can visualize things in her head. And says, or maybe this is the first time that she's had pictures in her head.
Oh, that's true too.
And says she just wants to be in the here and now with Harvey. Doesn't want to talk about it.
Not me as fuck. You know when something weird happens, that does not make me horny.
No.
I gotta be so honest. When I'm scared, not horny.
And you put it up when we were watching it. It's just like, did they have sex before this?
Yeah, I'm like, because like Harvey's in his undies and then Roz is like wrapped in the comforter. And I'm like, did they literally like feed this man? They're like, that was weird. Let's go fuck. Yeah. And then we'll have a conversation and then we can fuck again.
Yeah, oh man, that really freaked me out. Come on.
I get when people like hook up in a show movie when it's like, we're going to die.
Yeah.
Because it's like a carnal, like very like human instinct. But I'm like, this didn't seem like they were that worried.
Not at all.
And that makes me worried.
Yes. Roz,
you live in fucking Greendale.
Why would Roz not want to talk about the visions that she saw in her head of like the end times?
Well, we don't even know what we don't really understand it.
Yeah, because she can't like conceptualize it.
I kind of thought it was like part of the weird, right? Wasn't it? Didn't it show the weird too?
It showed all of them.
Oh.
Because then that's when Harvey draws it, Ambrose is like, oh, wait.
You're right.
The Sabrinas catch up on the bad dates in the dollhouse that they used to imprison the twins. It's now just a hangout spot for them. Morningstar is in love with Caliban and she's getting married to him soon. And Spellman's like, what are you, a child bride? You're rushing into marriage. And then Lucifer and Lilith are supposedly approve of the marriage as well. And then cut to the two of them discussing it. And Lucifer's like, Caliban doesn't have any family, so he won't inherit the throne. And have you looked at him? He's hot.
Have you seen him shirtless? And he's made of clay, so he won't dilute the Morningstar bloodline.
That's right. and he's like, he's hot, so they're gonna have great grandchildren.
He's like, I'm gonna have beautiful grandchildren.
Lilith asks what it means for her child, and Lucifer's like, probably competition, I guess. And she's like, so funny. He's so casual about this. Who is this man?
I love him like this. I just wish he was always like this, but also like had a little. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, me too. But yeah. Miss Wardwell tells Blackwood and Agatha about Hilda's marriage coming up, which the two of them find interesting, as apparently their new brick and mortar building is across the street from Dr. C. They get
no one recognized Blackwood coming and going.
Not even Hilda.
This town is ridiculous.
As Dr. C doesn't know them, right?
I don't think. Like, you know, he knows she's a witch.
Right, but he hasn't seen Blackwood at all.
I don't think so.
They get a knock at the door from the same man, and Blackwood tells us, this is the Uninvited, one of the Eldritch tears. Come in, my friend. His American accent is just gone.
Also, I'm very confused by Agatha. Like, she's like chill but evil now instead of being like crazy evil. And this has been happening for a couple episodes, but it just like really clicked to me. Like, when was that transition?
What are you doing? And the same question for Wardwell as things escalate in this episode.
Because Wardwell's not a character. Wardwell is a plot device, and that's how you can tell that even people who can write strong women can also really suck at writing women, because Wardwell as a character doesn't make any fucking sense anymore.
Yeah, the same with Agatha. Okay, Roz wakes up to Harvey asleep at his drawing desk, and she realizes...
In his drawers.
In his drawers.
Drawing in his drawers. We have lost the plot over here.
We have fun around here.
Mm-hmm.
She realized it was he drew the vision...
He drew what she saw.
In her head. She realizes he drew the visions that she saw, And Harvey has no idea how he drew it, and he must have. He's like, wait, did you pass it to me during sex? And she's like, all right, calm down. And he thinks that he drew them in his sleep. The public education system on sexual education is just
okay,
real
but I
hard.
think that is how he got them.
Yes, I think so. Zelda insists to Hilda that she must have a Church of the Night wedding and she'll officiate it. Hilda asks the Fright Club because she just wants to have a small ceremony with all of the family dressed up in Halloween costumes. Yep. Hilda asks the Fright Club to play the reception and for Sabrina to give the toast. And Zelda's like, it's about time.
And Sabrina's the flower girl.
Oh, there you go. And then Zelda says, we have to we've been putting it off. We have to exorcise the sex demon out of Dr. C. And they get a call that the coroner's office is bringing in bodies. There's a knock at the door and Sabrina finds it's Lilith who is there to get help from the aunties to talk sense into Sabrina. And she's like, but now that you're here, she realizes that there's two Sabrinas. Sabrina steps outside with Lilith to talk privately. Lilith wants to kill Caliban, but Sabrina's like, maybe we can break them up first. Sabrina meets Caliban at the academy, and Sabrina's like, well, I want to split my time here between I want to split my time going forward between hell and earth, and when we're married, and she introduces the statue of Hecate, and she's like, ooh, Hecate's even more powerful than Lucifer, and Caliban's like, but isn't Lucifer your father? And Sabrina asks if he'd convert, and he's like, well, possibly, because he's all lovey-dovey and wants to hook up like, there now. And then Sabrina invites Prudence to talk about the Order of Hecate, and she's like, yeah, all the men who join have to have their balls removed. Calvin's like, I don't know if I could relinquish my manhood because I want to be a real father. And Sabrina's like, oh, and you're saying that because I'm adopted that my aunties aren't real mothers? And then it's like, well, being a real father requires sacrifice, Caliban. And Caliban's like, well, maybe this is all a mistake. I need some time to think. And Sabrina tells him to go.
I want to know what Prudence was thinking when she got brought in to do this con on Caliban. Prudence loves fucking with a man, so I don't think you had to convince her. But I wish we saw, it seems like Prudence and Sabrina, and we can talk about this at the end, still have some sort of solid friendship.
Yeah.
Because she's like, hey, can you help me with this? Obviously, because they don't castrate the men.
No, but I think she's like, hee.
Yeah, this play guy from hell.
And also that the weirdness of Sabrina going to ask Prudence for this when she knows that Prudence is with Nick.
But Prudence isn't really with Nick. You know what I mean? And so I think Sabrina knows that.
But wouldn't there be there'd still be awkwardness because she's jealous when she sees them together.
But she's more upset about Nick than she cares that it's Prudence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in the witch culture, they all fuck each other all the time, a lot of the time.
Yeah. That's like when Melvin's like, I didn't say anything about a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I would think that there would be some fruitful tension there.
Totally. I think you could play with that. But I kind of like that they don't pit them together. In a later scene when Sabrina's giving her speech, Prudence starts laughing when she calls out Nick.
Oh, yeah.
She's having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's way better than her being that brat, you know?
Yeah, totally. It was more I feel on the Sabrina end.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Sabrina should have. There could have been some Sabrina tension. But.
Yeah. Zelda calls Melvin and Nick to exorcise Dr. C's sex demon, and Nick walks Dr. C through what will happen and says we can scare him out with the dark mother. And the sex demon jumps away anyway before they can do anything and into Theo. Roz and Harvey tell Sabrina about being visited by the Uninvited, except they don't know his name yet. And she says Ambrose might know more. And meanwhile, Ambrose is looking at the bodies of 3 men without hearts. And he takes out one of each of their eyes and uses necromancy to see what they saw when they died. Essentially, he puts it in a little bath of water, so then it pulls out a developed photograph. Very fun. They all saw the exact same man, which is the Uninvited, as they died. Sabrina brings Harvey and Roz, and she recognizes the guy in the pictures. Ambrose has Roz use her cunning on one of the men, and she sees the woman's death from the beginning of the episode. Ambrose realizes it's the Uninvited, and also realizes that the drawings that Harvey drew are all of the different terrors, but doesn't know what to do with that information. He's like, they're huge, cosmic entities. I don't know what we can do to stop them. We'll come up with a plan. Zelda chastises Nick and Melvin for letting the sex demon loose, and Ambrose pleads with Zelda to cancel the wedding, but she doesn't listen. Robin and Theo are having band practice with Theo's like, you know what, I'm just so horny, and jumps Robin's bones.
Teenager shit.
Yeah. Blackwood tries to speak with the uninvited, but he won't speak, and Miss Wardwell tries to reason instead with the uninvited and sees that he doesn't have a tongue. Blackwood's like, Agatha, bring me a tongue. And then Wardwell's like, oh, what? And then Agatha brings a tongue back, and he puts it in
She's
the
all covered in
mouth.
blood.
Yeah. Caliban brings Sabrina Morningstar his big clay balls in a box. These are big clay balls, I gotta tell you. These are like the size of the crossballs.
Are they?
They're huge.
I couldn't, like, with the box, like, I don't have good, like, judgment of, like, how big the box is and how.
No, yeah, it was like, they were like,
I liked the noise when they hit each other. They made like a little.
That's good.
That made me laugh.
Yeah, it made me laugh when it was the reveal of how big his balls were. Morningstar visits Spellman and calls her out for manipulating Caliban. It's like, but he's made of clay, so he can put his junk back together. And then it showed her Caliban's devotion to her. Morningstar asks if Spellman is happy, and she insists that she is. And Morningstar is like, I am too, and invites Spellman to come to the wedding. She gets a +1. Chekhov's +1 for the rest of this episode. Who's she going to invite? Spellman gives her the dollhouse as a wedding gift, something borrowed. Chekhov's dollhouse. No, that's not how it works.
Borrowed, and it's given. Did she say it's something borrowed?
Mm-hmm. I have sworn.
I actually just gave her the dollhouse.
I thought she said, here's your something borrowed. Blackwood tries to talk to the uninvited alone, and he's like, just the two of us boys. It's said that you're a harbinger, and you need a sizable audience to be able to herald, and I can bring you one. And the uninvited asks what he wants, and Blackwood's like, bless me, and I can help you. And the uninvited pulls out a weird little fleshy thing, gives Blackwood it to eat, and then asks whose door he should knock on next. Hilda, it's nasty.
Nasty.
Hilda finds Sabrina crying before the wedding, and Sabrina vents that she's lonely, and Hilda talks her up and says, you'll fall in love again, and the right person is worth the wait. Wardwell is forced to clean the uninvited for some reason. I know it's like a parallel because Lilith also washed Blackwood before, but
and
like,
Lucifer.
Yeah, what's going on here? Blackwood tells the uninvited to go after the Church of Night, and Agatha brings him a suit to attend the wedding. Ambrose hands out pictures of the uninvited and tells the gathered witches to let him in if he comes. Sabrina and Nick are on door duty together, and Nick is jealous that she went on a date with Melvin, and the uninvited appears, but, he's all cleaned up, so they don't recognize him, and Nick's like, hey, you can't come in. Prudence comes up and steals Nick away and asks if Sabrina can handle door duty alone, and she's like, why not get used to it?
Why not get used to doing everything alone?
At Dorian's for the reception, Sabrina is sitting with the hedge witches and gets nice and drunk with them. Sabrina's drunk for her toast, which starts out well, but then careens into her calling out all the couples in the room, except she starts calling out Nick.
I look around and I see love. I see love in everyone. Well, except for Nick.
It's really good.
And I think, so I think that occasionally the drunk girl giving a toast trope can be really bad. Because it's really cringy and uncomfortable. But this, because she is a teenager, it's so fucking funny.
It's really funny.
And they do it really well where she's actually not embarrassing herself that bad.
No, it's just like awkward in the room.
It's just awkward in the room. But like, even if you were in the room, like, you'd probably be laughing because you're just like, oh, this sad drunk girl.
Sabrina's drunk. Yeah. And then Zelda pulls Sabrina off stage and chastises her. The Fright Club plays Radio Gaga with the Incubus, makes Theo act up. Nick jumps into action and it jumps into Harvey, then Melvin, then the uninvited who eats the Incubus. Everyone figures out it's the uninvited, and Zelda tells him to reveal himself. And it turns out that the cleaning that Wardwell did was just a glamour?
Yeah, I'm confused by this.
Yeah. He pulls out Caliban's heart and eats it. Or not Caliban, apologies. Dorian's heart and eats it. It looks like Dorian is dead. Question mark.
Is Dorian actually dead?
I don't know, but he bleeds. His painting bleeds.
I know, but I can't remember if Dorian actually died.
Yeah, because Ambrose goes like, not invincible.
Yeah, that he was immortal, but not invincible.
Yeah. The uninvited leads a toast to the end of all things. Apparently, the first sentient beings who gathered around the fire rejected him, so he became the uninvited. He wandered the cosmos until he was offered a seat at the table with the other Eldritch terrors. The weird comes next. He proclaims death to all of them, and then Hilda apologized.
I thought he said he sat between the first and second terror.
First and third.
First and third, and the third terror is the weird.
Yeah.
I wrote terror is the third terror, so you can see why I'm confused.
Fair.
It was like, I wonder what that was supposed to be.
How terrifying.
So fucking. Okay, sorry.
They're all good. And then Hilda apologizes for ever turning him away because it's her wedding and she invites him in and he's like, too late. Nick says, I turned you away. And he's like, take me, and pulls it, like rips open the top of his shirt.
He's like, I got to show off my chest.
Yeah.
I just got to wax.
It really is.
He's very smooth. He's beautiful, you know?
Mm-hmm. Sabrina
Great
steps
skincare.
That's right. He's doing great. Yeah, exactly. No pimples, no nothing.
Yeah, like I
no ingrown hairs.
My chest probably is not, it's not that smooth.
Yeah.
I know it's not that smooth. Got a big pimple right here.
Sabrina steps in instead and invites him along with her to the wedding in hell. Lilith greets the two of them and she leaves the uninvited with Lilith. Then Spellman goes to Morningstar. Morningstar is just like, you brought who here? And then Lucifer comes down all excited for the wedding and then he learns of their scheme. He's like, why am I seeing double? They wonder if they can capture the uninvited, and Lucifer says, well, it'd have to be a prison outside of space and time, and the Sabrinas realize they can use the dollhouse. During the wedding ceremony, Sabrina vents to the uninvited about feeling alone and says he might feel like that too, and asks if he'd consider marrying her. He agrees excitedly. During the ceremony, Sabrina stops the wedding, and we get a two Sabrina weddings at the same time. Spellman is jealous of Morningstar briefly, and then gets kissed by the uninvited to seal their wedding. Spellman asks the uninvited to skip out on the reception and head straight for the wedding night. They go into the dollhouse, and the uninvited realizes what's happened, tells her she broke his heart, and Sabrina escapes, and we see a group of them use spells to seal him away. Lucifer tells Spellman she's banned from seeing Morningstar ever again and being in hell, so get out of here, false daughter, and to take the dollhouse with you. Morningstar says goodbye.
Also an interloper, which is like one of my favorite words.
It is really good. Morningstar says goodbye to Spellman and says she can make her own happiness. She makes her own happiness and hopes she can too. Spellman family come home to find her safe, and Ambrose wants to interrogate the uninvited to find more information about the upcoming terrors. Hilda says, I want to do one more thing before bed, and we see the entire family dressed up in Halloween costumes as Hilda and Dr. C exchange vows just like she wanted. And Sabrina is dressed as the comics Sabrina, complete with an Ali De Laurentiis grade wig.
Yes,
it's like they cut
comic like intentionally comic book style.
Yeah, and it looks like they cut the Lady Gaga wig into a bob.
Please, that's Lady G.
Lady G.
No, Lindsey Graham died today.
The original Lady G.
What a weird day.
What a weird day. Agatha and Wardwell ask Blackwood where the uninvited is, and Blackwood's like, it doesn't matter. The next Eldritch terror is approaching. The weird. And it's like he's got like something weird going on in his stomach. Like maybe the weird is being born that way. We see old movie visions of giant octopuses.
Mm-hmm.
Or giant squids, I should say. Sabrina Spellman thinks about what Morningstar told her to make her own happiness and gets an idea to kind of combine the best traits of Nick and Harvey, and confirmation she didn't burn out the candle, which had both their names on it, because she's looking at that. The end.
Like straw against the microphone. I hope that didn't make a weird noise.
Oh.
I apologize.
Clean it up in the edit.
Yeah. So I think we should talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
That is that Lucifer... We could have so much. Brent and I have talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast and between each other. The worst part of this is that Lucifer and Luke Cook, who plays Lucifer, would be so good. We could have like a plot line, and obviously this is just like our preferences and things we'd like, but we could have like some sort of plot line where it's like Sabrina, instead of splitting, had just decided she's doing both and made it work somehow, because that's very Sabrina. And then she's like, okay, I'm queen of hell, but I still want to go part-time on Earth. And it could have been Lucifer being like, no, kind of like how Lilith did the like, no, you have to take people to hell or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to. I'll delegate it to you, you know, and the back and forth of that. And it's like him controlling that. And then Zelda trying to get her time to like worship Hecate. And like, can you have a queen of hell that worships another god? And like you could have really like played with that still. Or like, does she then make him give powers back to the coven? So is he having to give them power because she's the queen of hell? Like there's lots of ways we could play with like this give and take, and like still kept Lucifer as a key player instead of just like this comic relief character that pops up every couple scenes.
He's not a character anymore.
Also, how can he banish her from hell?
He has no power.
He has no power.
At least it seems like
well,
it.
He's got physical power.
That's
he's still
true.
got his angel power.
Angel.
Yeah. But Morningstar's the witch, or Morningstar's the queen.
Yeah. He has no more once anymore. He's
Mhm.
now just a comedic character who what Luke Cook is selling really well of like,
Yes.
I am now just this proud papa. So like, I think without context of the previous seasons, he's a lot of fun. But we also know that like he was a primary antagonist, that the
Mhm.
reason he wanted Sabrina as his the person that takes up the throne after him was to take over the earth and hell.
Mhm.
So like all of that's just kind of gone out the window.
Yeah, or is it like if they're showing him and he's like, no, I'm trying to, okay, fine. If I let you do earth and hell at the same time, like then we can take it over, but you can be a good queen. Like we could really play with like him trying to manipulate her because he's also got all the time in the world to manipulate her into doing these things because they're like immortal or whatever. So like we could really accept like him doing the more goofy side questy things if we knew it was part of his long con to get her to do this.
Yeah.
Or like if he unleashed like things onto Earth that she had to go save Earth from so that she would then feel like she had to take over Earth to protect it. Like there's lots of ways you could play into her savior complex and like her wanting to protect Earth, but also her not wanting to be overly involved and the back and forth. And like, I don't know, it could have been so good.
Yeah. He was a great...
And then we could have had a Nick versus Caliban love triangle. Or like, does she have two different boyfriends for her two different lives? So then Caliban tried to kill her. Or at least imprison her in stone. He didn't try to kill her.
Right, as was clarified in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he used to be a fruitful character to drive plot, and he was interesting as an antagonist even when he wasn't really on screen a lot. As like, you got to watch out, like the devil, he's gonna like take things down in those first 2 parts.
Yeah.
He was like a really good
and he's,
sort of Damocles hanging over it of like something's gonna happen.
And he was fun when he was initially introduced.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we got him once, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly, because even the end of that, he's getting tricked.
Mm-hmm.
So he just kind of pops up to like bring levity to the episodes, and he's fun doing that. But it also shows what we talked about last time, the kind of like vacuum of like an interesting villain.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this in the car, but there's none of the other gods are like characters for us to be interested in. So like Hecate's just like this spirit just off screen. So like what would have been like to have like other entities like Lucifer being inhabited as a character, to have different ideas of ways of doing things to like ping pong off of. And it just takes the stakes out of everything. And I feel like that's where Sabrina's at right now. There's just no it doesn't feel like there's a lot of stakes to anything. It's not ground, like as we talked about in Riverdale too. I think the same problem happens of like, there's just no grounding to a lot of the things we're like experiencing here. So it's like, okay, sure, they have more powers than that. Sure, their powers can do this. But like that doesn't really have any impact to us on screen because it doesn't affect the characters. It doesn't affect their interactions, the plot. It just gets resolved.
It makes me think of, and I might misquote this a little, I think last year, Brent and I watched an author talk by Lee Bardugo, author of Six of Crows,
Shadow and
Bone. I was like, what was the Netflix show where they also had Six of Crows in it, but they didn't call it Six of Crows?
Ninth House, right?
Ninth House, The Familiar, lots of things. She's written a lot of amazing, really good things. Some I like more than others, like all books. But anyway, I'm not here to rank her books. What I am here to talk about is
in our next series.
Huh?
I said in our next series.
No, that'd be hard for me because I like her different works for different things.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so she talked about how when you're writing and like storytelling, one of the most important things like you do is like, she's like it was like you need to have the truth or like what's real kind of. And she didn't mean like, the truth in our everyday life, but like, does this feel like true or like real for the story? And I might be using the wrong word, but it was something like that.
It was truth.
I think it was truth. Yeah. And it's like, does this feel true? Like, does this work for the characters? And it's something when I'm writing, it helps me a lot now. Like when I like reread things I wrote and I'm like, well, that was fun, but it's not true. Like that was just like you wanted to write that and that's okay. You can write a scenario where that is true, but like you have to make it true. And this doesn't feel true.
No.
I think that's what it's missing.
Big time.
That just like finally clicked for me. I was like, that's what this is missing.
Right. As we talked before, he's like the god of evil and schemes.
Yeah, he should be scheming.
He's just relegated.
Yeah, and it'd be fun too if he was like Sabrina's on the throne and he's like trying to scheme and she's like, I don't want to scheme, but Sabrina's also always scheming. Like it'd be like there's good friction we could have had. Also, I wanted more Queen of Hell content.
Yeah, and we also are missing the fact that because Hell's just a place now, it's not like the place that's evil and where bad people go.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a place they pop into.
Yeah, well, and is it also that? Like what is the outer, like what is Morningstar doing in Hell?
Yeah, and what does it mean that her and Caliban are getting married? What does that mean for the people on Earth? Doesn't matter.
I do like that Sabrina and Sabrina are just trapping Eldritch chairs in containers. I don't know what other containers we have left on the show. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. It's like we're going to put this one in the big glass ball. We're going to put this one in the yellow room.
I don't know if we have any more. I mean, Batty Bat got out of her container, which was just a jar. So I don't think there's much left that they have. So they got to get crafty.
Yeah. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about with the Sabrinas is why is Hell Sabrina more content than Earth Sabrina? Like Hell Sabrina is willing to be like, oh, I'm in love with Caliban and I'm going to get married and I'm going to do these things. And she's like choosing her own happiness or like making her own happiness, which I like the concept of. But why is she happier than Earth Sabrina?
I mean, interesting. We should probably, it would probably take it with a grain of salt. I can't remember where this ends up.
Because she was sad last time.
Exactly.
Too.
But but
she does seem in better spirits every time we see her.
Yeah. So at the very least, it's
she has purpose.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Sorry, I asked a question and I knew the answer.
Well, I was also gonna say, but at least to Spellman in this episode, it's that she has a man.
She has a man, but I think it's more of that she has purpose. Like she has something that she matters in her society and world. Whereas like right now, if Sabrina disappeared, Sabrina feels like she doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like she's just alone, and unless she is saving everybody, she's not doing anything.
Right,
which she does again in this episode.
And she sees a lot of that too through at least in this episode, like partnership, romantic relationships.
Having someone to care about you.
Like, sorry, Hilda, I know you're trying to make me feel better that it took you so long to find the right man, but I'm young and hot and I should have someone.
And like, I don't want to wait 150 years. I don't want to feel like this for this long.
Yep.
I like that. What I don't like, we talked about this earlier too, but not on here, is the uninvited of it all.
Yeah.
It's gross because it's like, oh, here's this like gross guy and he's just actually bad because people were mean to him.
Yes.
And so then they're also mean to him. Like what they do to him is mean, but also like how he behaves is not an excuse. And so it's just like one of those, it's very like defense of the incel. I don't like it.
No, because it starts out as like, here are the people that are... Here's an embodiment of the people that you don't want to acknowledge in society that are outcasts. So in this case, houselessness, right? So it makes sense that it's going into mean territory where it kills the woman and the child at the beginning. It's like even the people that you would think more innocent of this in our culture are not helping.
They're guilty by not helping.
Exactly. Even they won't help out the houseless person. But then it turns out it's just like, oh, I wasn't invited by like you said, the incel culture. So it's like that kid who's bullied in school. And then he just actually he's actually just wants to be like loved by someone. And then all the cool kids go, no, you're too gross and weirds. And they shove him in a locker.
Yeah, it's gross the whole way through. It's gross to like, it's gross that they make it gross for her to kiss him, and it's gross that like it's gross on both ends. Does that make sense? Like it's mean and it's gross, and it's mean and it's gross.
Yeah, because like I feel like what you're saying also, the incel culture thing wraps back around in like what's being displayed there, as in like, yes, if you are not up to a certain standard or act a certain way by society, oh yeah, they will villainize you, the beautiful people that want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But then also on the other side, he's also really weird, like when
he's eating their hearts.
Well, okay, yeah, because he's evil. I mean, there's that part. But like, I was the Sabrina of it all, of like, oh, this like a cute girl finally notices me.
Yeah, and then she
And
tricked him.
Exactly. And yeah.
Ugh.
And it is mean what they do. They lock him away.
Yeah.
And like, I know he was going around sealing out people's
He's
hearts.
an Eldritch terror.
Yeah, but what was he doing? Like, what was the end of his
What was his goal?
reign? Was he just going to continue to eat people's hearts and go around for forever? He was a harbinger, so like, I feel like that means like when he heralded, he was kind of done.
But also, why is he a harbinger? Okay, you can't be a herald without a tongue. So who designed this man and what happened to his tongue?
And why was it not the first Eldritch terror?
Mm-hmm. These questions and more we cannot answer. Why doesn't it have a tongue?
Don't know.
It's so, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Nick. Do you have anything else you want to say about
No, we got it all.
Nick is jealous.
Yes, he is.
And Sabrina's like, I don't know if you're flirting with me or if you're bullying me. Like, I can't tell. Like, you're just being mean at one point when they're standing at the doors. And then he goes off with Prudence. But like we pointed out, you don't see him and Prudence do anything.
No.
They don't even kiss, I don't think.
They're just kind of like touching each other.
They're just touching.
Yeah, a lot of like stroking and just being like sitting on his lap or like very embracing, but there's no kissing.
But he denies entry to the uninvited and then he runs off with Prudence, which I just think is a real man move to do.
Yep. Hey, I fucked this up for you. See you later.
I mean, he doesn't know, but you know.
Yeah.
It's so, but men don't ever notice. It's typical. You can't make me hate Nick though. I'm just like, Nick, why? Just hook up already. Just get back together. I just want them to hook up and be happy.
In the pilot episode of Always Sunny, one of the characters is like telling a story, is a character for the episode where it's like, I didn't know if he wanted to fight me or freak me. That's exactly Nick. Is like, what is your problem, Nick? Do you want to be with me or not?
Exactly. And I wish we were like getting more of the internal world of that and like that relationship than what we're getting instead, because it'd be a little bit more interesting. I mean, and you don't need a lot of it. You just need like a little bit of Nick. I'd rather watch an episode where Nick is struggling with his demons instead of like some of what we've seen.
Right.
I will say, like, I think this last part is the weakest.
Yep.
I think it had like a good concept and a poor execution.
I feel like Eldritch Terrors is like really hard to try and make interesting. Mm-hmm. At least in like a visual way. From what I understand, like cosmically, obviously people like the books and the stories and things that he wrote.
But and I don't know enough about it to be super into it.
Yeah.
Whereas like I know more about like the different gods and witchcraft and like those types of things. So I wish we had stayed in that realm because there's so much more to dig into. Yeah.
And if as far as I know, if Lovecraft, the Eldritch beings that he talks about are hard for us to conceptualize, then it's really kind of a letdown when you just kind of have to, it's really hard for you then to be like, well, it's a person, it's a man that's just kind of like walking through. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's hard to like translate to the screen because you have to see it.
Exactly. And like the whole point is that seeing them should like make you crazy, or like you should be able to comprehend.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
When something's incomprehensible, make it hard to then make it something you can comprehend in a visual format.
Yep.
But that, I like that Hilda got the wedding she wanted at the end.
Yeah, me too.
It makes me happy. I mean, it was all right. Wasn't my favorite episode.
No. Yeah, not super hot on it.
Any other things you wanted to bring up on this one?
That is it.
Well,
actually, no. We already talked about Wardwell just not being a character. And
yeah, she's not a character.
Speaking of truth and characters, that just doesn't ring at all.
That was Sabrina's favorite teacher.
Yep. And now she's just like, wait, you're doing what? You're cutting out people's tongues, and she's just kind of like, oh. Okay, whatever. But that's it. So you can find this podcast on all your audio podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube at Dead_Ends. You can also find us on Blue Sky at deadendspcast. No, Dead-Ends. Yeah. Apologies. And then on Instagram at deadendspcast. And our email, if you want to write in questions, we're going to be coming to the end of Sabrina. So if you have any questions or topics that you want us to cover as we finish out this series, drop them into our inbox at deadendspcast@gmail.com. And you can also talk to us on YouTube, on the YouTube comments. We love talking to people there. And our podcast art is done by Senki R. You can find a list to their portfolio in all the podcast descriptions.
Well,
not today, Satan.
not today.
Yeah.
That's what we say as the house keeps getting hotter.
Pray for us.
We'll be fine.
Oh, Hecate, save us.
Don't joke. Would take saving from anybody at this point.
Absolutely.
Someone will fix our air conditioner. We have a company that's supposed to be doing it. We're under warranty. They're supposed to be fixing this, but in their sweet time.
Mm-hmm. If you work for
Figuring
Mitsubishi, help us with some parts.
Well, I mean, we don't have to worry about paying for the parts. They're under warranty.
No, just get them here.
Just get them here. If you could drive it to us.
Just get them.
Just drive it to our house. Oh. You know what? It's fine. We're great. We're happy.
And we made it without it feeling like lava in here.
And we love you.
We love you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.